Okay, this is my curricular unit. The focus for the curricular unit was the Holocaust, and we're going to focus on the writing aspect. So, for this project, the kids are being asked to write an historical fiction short story that depicts life as a young Jewish person living before, during, or after the Holocaust. So, the eighth graders, because I don't teach eighth graders, I teach sixth graders. The eighth graders do this a Holocaust unit in conjunction with learning about the Holocaust during history class. So it's a unit that's taught co-curricular by the eighth grade language arts teacher and the social studies teacher. And so when we had talked with the eighth grade language arts teacher, when I had talked and I said, "Hey, what do you think about doing this unit?" She was like, "I've never actually had them write an historical fiction on, the Holocaust. So let's try that." So this is what I created for her. So the students then, after being, given that sort of challenge of writing a historical fiction short story, would have to do a couple things before they start writing. One is they need to watch this video, The Path to Nazi Genocide. Um, it is fairly graphic, but as with most units like this, she will have sent a note home to the parents explaining this is what we're studying. They're going to see some graphic images because this is not the only movie that they're going to see about the Holocaust, just so that the parents are aware of what we're doing in the classroom. Then, after viewing this video, the students would be asked to answer these journal entries. And I reminded them here that they're viewable by all your classmates and it's a sharing space, so they're not commenting on each other's journal entries. And then to get them in like the feel of a historical fiction novel, they need to read one prior to starting their rough draft. We do have a lot of historical fiction in the library, but it's not the first thing that kids gravitate to when they're looking for independent reading books. And so she felt more comfortable having them read a historical fiction novel before they do their rough draft. But this works perfectly because the history teacher makes them read an historical fiction novel on like a World War II or the unit or something like that. So this historical fiction novel can actually be in anything theoretically, but the social studies teacher will have told them you should pick something on World War II or the Holocaust. And then I have a page for teacher resources. So this is the calendar for all of their dates, and this is where all of their handouts would be, project steps, and the rubric. And I actually use this in my sixth grade class. I put all of the homework on there. Anything that I use in class, I put on there, and the kids always have access to it when they get home. And then this is their resources, something that they can use to further explore the issue of the Holocaust, because there's not nearly enough class time to explore all these things during school. So what I put on here is I put some videos from individuals who survived the Holocaust, if that's where they wanted to go, and then a lot of great sites on just understanding the different topics of the Holocaust, um, looking at oral histories, questions about the Holocaust. These are some pretty popular ones. This one will actually give them photos, which again are graphic, but we will have tried to prepare them for that as much as we can. Holocaust Encyclopedia, and then I have a Badger Link database down here for a middle school collection for nonfiction, if they wanted to read nonfiction prior to starting their rough draft. And then I have tutorials. So this is what they would use to find a book on their F&P levels when they have to read their historical fiction book. I have written instructions here for them. I have a page where they could communicate. This is a Google Doc where they can type in questions or comments about the unit, just to share out, like what, kind of what they're thinking while they're viewing all of this information. It gives them kind of another outlet because we may not have had class time to discuss everything that they've seen. And I will check this on the teacher, not me. The teacher would check this like 2 or 3 times a day to make sure that if she needs to give feedback to kids or answer their questions about it, that she can go ahead and do that. This is where we would put a model, like this is what a great historical fiction story would look like. And this is where we'd put when the students start finishing their essays. This is where we would house them. So this was the curricular unit. Their challenge was to write a historical fiction short story um, on and specifically on a young person living before, during, or after. Of course, directly before, not way before, or directly after um, that their main character. And then by reading those historical fiction novels, the social studies teacher and the language arts teacher both can really reassess on what the kids really do understand about what the Holocaust was, especially in today's age when um, they're inundated and they have the World Wide Web at their hands, and trying to get them to focus like this was really the Holocaust, this really did happen, um, and so that they can have that historical perspective going into high school. Thank you.